Okay, web designer, be honest with me. How long have you been kicking the raise my prices can on down the road? How long have you been dealing with the inner money mindset monologue that says, if I raise my prices, then all of my client inquiries are gonna dry up, or I'm still learning, so I really shouldn't be charging that much for my time, or this is just a side hustle, so I guess I should just be happy for the little bit that I make on the side, right? I've totally been there because when I first got started, I was charging a whopping $680 for a completely custom 5-page website on Etsy. Y'all, that's peanuts for the amount of time, care, and creative energy I was pouring into each and every project and client. And I knew this, but again, your mind can do some weird things when it comes to assigning a monetary value to your own work. So if you're currently stuck in discount designer land, worried that you don't have what it takes to raise your rates and still be able to land enough clients to pay the bills, then I want to share the story with you of what happened the first time I finally got up the courage to do a major price hike in my web design business. But before I do, if your track record of attracting clients with real budgets has been part of your money mindset struggle, then I want you to actually hit pause on this video for just 1 second and get access to a free training which I recorded for you on finding clients as a new web designer. In it, I'm sharing which client attracting methods tend to keep you small and struggling as a website designer versus which ones will set you up for success in the long term. Now, you can find the link to that training here, or I'll also put it for you in the description below. So what happened when I doubled my rates as a website designer? Let me throw it all the way back to 2017 when my main focus was still serving web design clients one-to-one rather than teaching the thousands of students through my web designer courses like I do now. In July 2017, I doubled the price of my web design services from $2,500 of website to $5,000 for website. Bold move, I know. I proceeded to get asked a lot of questions about how I mustered up the courage to do it and what happened after. Now, the most common question I received was, did doubling the prices tank the number of inquiries and bookings I was getting? I'll be sharing that in just a moment, but first, let's walk down memory lane and I'll explain how the idea to double my prices came up in the first place. So here's what my business looked like pre-price increase. At that time, I was offering something pretty different in the web design world. Most designers would take on 4 to 5 clients at a time. Their site build and launch taking anywhere between 2 to 3 months was about normal. It was also pretty common for timelines to go long and for site launches to take weeks or even months, longer than the original time estimate. Revisions to the site were limited to generally 2 to 3 rounds. So what made me stand out, I took on just 1 client at a time and took them from site dreaming to site launching in just 2 weeks. My projects were always completed on time. My clients got the undivided attention of their own dedicated web designer for 2 weeks, and I got to pour all of my focus into just 1 client's project. Now, I gave my clients unlimited rounds of revisions and also followed up every single site design with an individualized lesson for that client specifically. I helped them with linking up the external integrations and was there to hold their hand to launch the actual website as well. Now, this process was pretty unique and my clients loved it because it was amazing. So there's a definite value add with how I did things compared to the other design studios and traditional design process that was out there at the time. Now, I mean, let's be real, who doesn't love undivided attention? Or is that just the middle child of me speaking? Even with this major value add in both my process and the additions I included in my packages that others didn't, I had previously been pricing similar to other people and other designers out there. Until I had a phone call with a business friend who knocked a bit of sense into me. My friend worked in a company that helped hundreds of business owners to launch websites, so he was pretty familiar with the web design space and my own business. He let me know that I was offering truly incredible value for the price I was offering it at, maybe even too much value for the price, and challenged me to double my process. Now on the call, I was thinking, no way am I doubling my prices. But then I got off the call and the thought was firmly planted in my head like a seed and it began to grow. I began researching and comparing my packages and designs and prices to other people in the industry. And I realized he was absolutely right. He had a point. My value versus price was completely off. I toyed with the idea of raising my prices by $1,000 or raising them a little bit now and some more a bit later and then a bit more in the future until I got to the doubled price that he actually suggested. But it's uncomfortable enough to raise your price once, let alone do it every few months, and I just wanted my price to be something I was happy with for this foreseeable future. So I decided to take the full leap. I hadn't heard of anyone similar doubling prices before, so it was a total gamble, and I honestly had no idea what to expect. Will my followers and email list turn off by this? Will past clients who refer new clients to me stop spreading the word about me because the price is twice of what they had paid for it? Still, I knew my pricing was definitely off from what it should have been, and postponing the uncomfortable decision of upping the price wasn't going to get me to where I wanted to go. So within an hour of hopping off that call with a feeling of, yes, this is right, I doubled the prices on my website on the spot. Let's talk about how I dealt with past web design client inquiries and with people who were already subscribers and had seen my old prices and therefore might have been shocked to find out that they had just doubled. I still want to give these people one last chance to get into my old prices. I sent an email to my list to let them know of the change and gave them a few days where they could get in touch if they wanted to book in at my old prices. I also individually emailed anyone who had directly inquired with me in the past but just hadn't booked my services in yet. Now, did every single one of them head straight to my website and click the book now button? No, but the urgency of a price increase did get a good many of them off of the fence. So it's definitely worth sending that email to score a few extra bookings that might have disappeared if I raised my rates and told no one. There's the backstory, but I know what you're really dying to know is, did my inquiries and bookings take a nosedive after that? In my weekly stats tracking, I faithfully noted down how many booking inquiries and how many bookings I did each week and each month. Therefore, I could easily track the difference between pre and post price increase and have specific numbers to back up whether or not this price hike was the right move for me. Before I did the increase, I decided on the number that I felt indicated my plan had been a success. If inquiries and bookings dropped by half, but I actually earned twice as much per project, then I'd be making the exact same amount of income while literally working half of the time, and I called that a win. So basically, as long as I continued to do half of my previous bookings and inquiries or better, I labeled it a huge success. As it turns out, my inquiries and bookings saw no dip at all. In fact, I even saw a slight increase in them. Though I think the increase could probably be attributed to the fact that also around this time, I was consistently blogging in my business and really starting to see some traction from that in the form of increased organic traffic to my website. So that's where I think the increase came from. So what's the biggest difference that I noticed from all this? It's actually something I hadn't thought about, but is also pretty major and something that I think is very important for you to know as well. And that is that when you significantly raise your rates, the inquiries and bookings that you will receive will be very different from the ones that you were attracting before. So I pretty much priced myself out of working with people who were side hustling or who were just getting started in their business at the very, very early stages. All the inquiries that I received post-price change were from people who had been running their business for some time, they'd seen a lot of success in their business, and they were looking to get a site that matched that killer up-leveled business. And so through this experience, I learned that as your price changes, the clients that you attract will too. And in order to see success in the price change, it's important that our sites appeal to our new ideal clients. Now, I know I hear you saying over there, like, okay, but what does that actually mean? The messaging of your site should change with a price change is what I'm trying to say. So for the most part, I priced myself out of the side hustlers, passion project entrepreneurs. I previously had a line in my sales page mentioning about something like leaving your 9 to 5, but with these new prices, I could basically only be attracting people who had already left their 9 to 5. As such, that line in my site had to go. That's just one example, but I hope that demonstrates a larger takeaway, and that is when your price changes, your ideal clients will change, and therefore your site maybe needs some tweaks to properly communicate with those new people that you're going to be attracting. So I can imagine the question on everyone's mind is, of course, why did my inquiries and bookings not dry up? If I upped my prices to $150,000 for a 10-page Squarespace site, I was quite sure I would have 0 inquiries in my inbox, but that was not the case. I was far from the most expensive web designer out there. I hadn't by any means hit the ceiling of what business owners were and are willing to pay for a website. My inquiries and bookings didn't dry up because there are all types of buyers out there. Yes, there's buyers to whom the price is the most important factor, but there's also buyers out there to whom convenience or trust or design style is the most important, and the price is irrelevant if the service solves their problem and gets them what they want. Both higher and lower price points will attract some and deter others. I sold my first web design for $680, but by the time I made the decision to stop offering one-to-one web design services and focus solely on serving everyone that I could through my online courses instead, I had clients paying me upwards of $9,000 for a single project. Now, there is exactly 0 chance that those high-end clients would have even considered hiring me if my prices were still $680. Why? Because $680 is literally peanuts for a website. It almost couldn't get any cheaper. It's so cheap that you think, there's something wrong here. So when you're an established business owner who's poured your blood, sweat, and tears into growing your business and you are ready to invest and you want it done well and done by an expert, you want someone who knows what they're doing and has a proven track record of really great work. You're expecting to pay for it. In fact, you're happy to do so because you know that the investment will help you grow your business. And to be honest, you'll be scared off by bargain basement prices because it'll make you question the quality of the design and the service that you're going to receive. So to wrap up, I'm not encouraging doubling prices just for the heck of it, but if you have a feeling that the value and your pricing aren't in alignment, then I absolutely encourage you to give it a think, research your market, and if it feels right, take the leap on increasing your prices. I hope you found today's video encouraging. If you did, be sure to let me know by hitting the like button, and don't forget to access that free training which I recorded for you on finding clients, as your marketing methods may need a bit of a makeover to go along with your new fancy prices. You don't want to be stuck doing the same things that were attracting those bargain basement price shopper clients. So get the training. It's 100% free. The only thing it'll cost you is 60 minutes of your time to change your client attracting mindset and set your business on the path to growth. Now, you'll find that link waiting for you here or also in the description below. And remember, if you want more tips and tricks for building a web design business that you actually love, then be sure to hit subscribe and the bell button to be notified of fresh content dropping every single week. If you're wondering what to watch next, check out these videos too.